G'day, I'm Ernie Dingo, and I'd like you to join me as we begin a 4-year Olympic journey. It's a journey that will take us to the length and the breadth of our country as we capture a week in the life of Olympic Australia. And it's a quest, if you like, to uncover the human spirit of the 2000 Olympics. And at the end of the show, we'll be unveiling the symbol for the Sydney 2000 Games. And where better to start than on top of one landmark looking down at another, the Opera House, the first element of our new Olympic symbol. But the Olympics are not just about places, they're about people too. And more than anything, they're about our athletes. The dawn light conjures visions of the Olympic flame and precious gold, at least in the eyes of our youngest competitors.
I'm 13 years old and I've been doing gymnastics since I was 7. I'm 10 and I've been doing gymnastics since I was 7.
Whoa, whoa, now.
I'm 12 and I've been doing gymnastics since I was 8.
It's better.
I wanted to do either gymnastics or tennis, and after a while I didn't like tennis, so I chose to do gymnastics. That you get picked on and stuff because you're small and things like that. I get called small, but I don't really get picked on. I get called shrimp.
That's good. We're keeping up the tempo. Good rhythm with the body.
When I was younger, I was pretty chubby. I was heaps overweight. And my dad was a bit of an athlete and just get stuck into me about it, and I used to hate it and get picked on at school and stuff because I was fat. So Dad just dragged me out of bed and made me run in the mornings. I'm pretty competitive, so I just like racing people. It's the sort of sport where you can see if you're better by pushing yourself a little bit more and just trying to win.
You can see yourself progressing. Like, you know you're getting somewhere. You've got goals, you've set yourself goals, and you know that one day if you keep working you will get there.
Good, smooth, even body work. That's looking good.
Seeing the kayaking was something that they haven't been able to put into perspective, and now looking at the Sydney Games, they've seen Atlanta, they've seen what the Australian kayak team has done over there. So I've just noticed a big attitude change leading up to the 2000 Games, and I think with a bit of hard work the potential is there for a lot of them to go.
When I first started paddling, my dreams were more towards 2000, and it just so happened that I made it a bit earlier than I expected. But Atlanta was fantastic, the experience was invaluable, and I really had a great time and learned a lot about what I can do leading up to 2000.
It's a fantastic feeling. I mean, you train for 4 years to go to an Olympic Games and to represent your country and to win a medal. It's just such a great feeling. I think the silver medal was with the relay team, and I mean that's as close as we get, I guess, to a team sport, and it was such a great feeling to do it with the other 3 girls.
No one knows better than Olympic medalist Samantha Raelene the dedication Jasmine Geisel will need to make it to the top. But although the sacrifices are great, the potential rewards are even greater.
To actually swim in the Olympics would be great. To swim for your country would be fabulous. Also meeting other people from different nations, making new friends with them, that'd just be great as well, just to mix with other people, other athletes as well. Sam's just achieved so many things, and it's unreal what she has achieved. She's someone which is just unbelievable. You know, I want to swim in Sydney 2000, so you know, I'm definitely motivated anyway to be there. It's another 4 years away, and hopefully I can just still enjoy my swimming and keep training and yeah, be there with all these young guys. I'll be one of the old ones by then.
I remember being in the ready room and it was my turn to go out for my first heat, and I walked out there and it was like it just hit me. I'm like, oh my God. I could not get the smile off my face. If you're not willing to put in 110%, you might as well just give it away now, because you go to the Olympics and get smashed, and hopefully by 2000 I'll have everything covered. A silver and a bronze medal now, I want a gold medal, and I can tell you now I wouldn't be happy with any less.
Young Rachel Linke is clocking up the kilometres on her way to Sydney 2000. She only started racing 2 years ago, but she's already gone a lot further than anyone ever imagined.
I just can't believe that she's gone so far. We always knew that she was athletic because she had an athletic build, and she seemed a natural for sport. But I don't think we ever expected that she'd get as high as she has.
My mum never let me bring my bike into the house, but behind every successful athlete, there's a highly supportive and very accommodating family.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done it without them.
We're just a normal, average family living in a normal, very average suburb, and it's just staggering to think that out of that family, we've produced a world champion. When she first entered into cycling, the idea was that they were grooming her for the 2000 Sydney Olympics.
It's still 4 years away, and she's performing very well at the moment, so it's probably a very real prospect, and I look forward to it.
Michael, come in. Ladies and gentlemen, children, I have a very famous visitor, Mr. Michael Simon.
How's it going?
He's come to see us today.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of the day. I mean, for them to see an Olympic gold medal, oh, wow, you know, it's highlights in common sort of thing, and you see them being happy and it makes you even happier.
Michael hasn't stopped smiling since he scored Australia's first gold medal in Atlanta.
The overall excitement was winning the gold medal for Australia. That was just a great thrill. Proud and happy. More proud and happy for my family more than anything, because all the time and work that they've put into me has finally paid off for them, which is great. Dual gold would be great, especially on our home turf sort of thing, and it would be great to be part of a team and part of Australia that's hosted our Olympics, and I can just turn around and see a lot of people be killing themselves to get over here and see it. It's going to be one hell of an Olympics.
Hunter Ed is a homebred horse, so that makes him special. He is the fittest horse, I think. I don't think I'll ever have a horse as fit as him. And he's amazing to ride cross country and jumping. He's just unreal. Yeah, in my opinion, you have to be quite tough. I would say that for every good day in horses, there are quite a few bad days, but they keep your feet on the ground.
We've struck equestrian gold at the last two Olympics, thanks to skill, courage and teamwork.
She's got problems. She's down again.
Into the water. I mean, I've been riding for 30 years now, and you don't go to a games and just let it all fall in a heap. And I was part of a team, and when you're part of a team, you've got to make a team score no matter what. And luckily, Fred and I have such a wonderful partnership that when he knew that I wasn't well, he just kept on going for me, and that was a great part of the partnership.
That's 2 falls and she's back up. So she's showing a lot of courage. She has a lot of guts in this ride.
It's a tough sport, and you have to be really disciplined and you have to be really focused, like any sport. But the thought of going towards Sydney is a huge draw card. It's something that will really keep you involved in the sport.
I'd always been swimming or running all my life, so it was just easy to start triathlon, and I liked it. It was fun. I'm trained by my dad. He's been my coach for the last few years for swimming, and he's just done his level 1 triathlon course, and he's always trying to train me for that as well.
I think it's a bit easier because you can sort of talk about it after training and before training, talk about things that are wrong and all the problems and things you're doing right as well.
I don't think I work them hard enough. It's a bit of a juggling act trying to work out how hard to work them and be a father as well. Well, they juggle school and sport with great difficulty. It becomes a real time management thing. They have to get that together before they can really progress any further.
My first goal would be to make the 2000 Olympics because triathlon is a new sport. It'd be great to make for the first time it's at the Olympics.
South Dubbo athletes, I want you to make a big South Dubbo welcome to Kyle Vander-Kuyp, who's come from Melbourne this morning to join us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me here today. It's a great opportunity for me to be here. I think my first memory that stands out the most is that first hurdle race I did where I ran and my shoe came off. I went back to get it, and to think back now, 20 years later, that I've just competed in the Olympics and I'm Australia's best hurdler. It's pretty amazing. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask me about the Olympics?
How did you feel when you were just about to start your race in the final?
Excited, and I knew that I was nervous, but my first race when I walked out, I felt myself choking in the throat, and I could have just sat down and cried. That's how emotional it was for me, but I had Mum there as well in the crowd, which brought together both our dreams. Mum worked just as hard as me to get there over the years. I've grown to be proud of my Aboriginal heritage and background. If I can become a role model and help other young kids and hopefully boost that Sydney team and have half a dozen, whatever, Aboriginal athletes there would be fantastic.
We live in an age of symbols, or maybe we always have. And we shouldn't forget that the Olympics are not just one big event for Australia. They come at the start of a new millennium. There'll be a lot of looking forward and a lot of glancing back when that day comes. That's why we're here at the Devil's Marbles in the Northern Territory, to put all this into perspective. This is the ancient heart of Australia. And for those who know how to read it, this landscape is a history of a time when gods walked the earth. So we've taken the rich red of this land and added it to our new Olympic symbol. It's a colour of our Indigenous heritage. At the heart of the Olympic Games is the athlete, and he or she is rightfully there at the heart of our new symbol too. All the elements of the Sydney 2000 symbol come together in different ways, and they mean different things. The opera house sails and the boomerangs are recognisable in their own right, but put them together and you've got another potent Olympic symbol, the Olympic torch.
Well, certainly I've had a lot of time to think about it after 20 years, but the Olympic Games are the ultimate that an athlete can achieve, and to get out there and actually win a medal takes that ultimate story a little bit further. And it's just a beautiful feeling. Now, in my middle ages, it's a lovely feeling being able to look back and see and be able to say that I was that good at something.
And I think the Australian girl, Raelene Boyle, got second.
You've got to keep it all in perspective, and it is only sport. Even though you're achieving at that very, very high level, it still is only sport, and you still have to be able to have a smile on your face and get out there and enjoy it. And I think probably my advice is, if you have got talent, work hard with it, but make sure you enjoy every step of the way, because you're a long time without it.
I train probably 30 to 100k a day. Going down hills really fast, around corners really fast. Not really scared of falling off. I've had a few falls in my time since I've started. I've had about 6 now, I think. I find everything really a challenge. Like, instead of just grinding away every day and using it as a chore, I go out there and have fun.
Kirsty Bruin only got on her bike a year ago, but even though most of her teammates are male, she's the one who's setting the pace at the local velodrome.
I went to the track nationals, which I was really surprised to actually get in the squad because I've only been riding for 4 months, and then I went there and I shocked myself by getting a gold and 2 silvers. Well, my biggest aim is the Sydney 2000 Olympics.
I said to her, Mum, I said, I'm going to the Olympic Games. Oh, I said, yes, you go to the Games. I said, yes, I am. She says, the man's got as much chance of flying to the moon as you're going to go to the Games. Yeah, there you go. She's wrong by 2 counts.
Dunk Gray, sporting legend, represented Australia in 3 Olympic Games, 1928, 32 and 36.
Dunk Gray won the 1,000 metres cycling time trial in world record time of 1:13.
Terrific. The boys from the Cyclist Federation, they came up the gangway and they carried me off the boat. It's terrific.
Is that you, Granddad?
Yes, darling, it's me. A long time ago, though.
When we had the privilege of filming Dunk just a few days before he passed away recently, the memories were still vivid.
I think they're the only thing to get nations together myself. I think they're most important. One of the most important things there is going in the world is to get the Games.
Okay, now you just got to run your own race. Okay, you think about the first 2, hitting it hard, set up the rest of the back straight.
Down at Homebush, where the Olympics will be staged 4 years from now, young athletes are already testing their mettle.
Good, I thought they'd got away from me for a while, but then coming around the bend and I thought they're in reach, so I'll just go for it. My coach always says, oh, the race isn't finished until you cross the line and you can do anything coming home. So I went with that. I want to win gold at Sydney and it'll just be unreal feeling. It'll be the ultimate. And I'll still have a couple of years under my belt. Like I'll still be able to make next 2 Olympics after that. So I'll have the experience of winning gold and I'll have a couple more championships to compete in. So it'll be just the ultimate to win gold, home ground, and then knowing that I can do it the next 4 years. It'll be really great.
Diving about 3 years ago. I do about 100 to 200 dives per day. Yeah, I'm pretty small, but my aims are pretty high and I know I'm going to go all the way in diving.
I love the thrill and the challenge of the competition and to be at the Olympics, which is the best. To see everybody else who are the best in all the various disciplines and getting the chance at it, that's all I craved. And I missed a gold, I won a bronze. There must be 6,000 kids trying to get in the Olympic Games for Australia, and there's going to be 200 or 300 picked. You know, they're working right now, so there's more disappointed than they're going to be chosen. But they shouldn't be, that's the point I make, you know, because the build-up should be the fun. You've got about twice as much opportunity to win a medal in your own country as you do when you're competing overseas. So I'd be excited. I wish it had been Sydney had been around when I was running.
Getting to the Olympics means years of training and self-sacrifice.
I actually started playing when I was about 6 years old. Mum and Dad played, so they got me into it. And there's actually, 7 of us in the family, and we all play hockey.
But it doesn't always mean you win gold, even when your team does.
Well, it was hard. I mean, it was great to be able to go there. I mean, not many people do get to go there. It was just unlucky I didn't get to play, but especially on the day of the first game when we were sitting in the grandstand and watching our own team play, I had shivers up my spine because it was such a good feeling, you know, the crowd cheering, and, you know, I thought I could have been there. Very determined. I mean, missing out has really sort of changed me. I feel that now I could never let that happen again. I didn't like the feeling of missing out. So, you know, I intend to be a lot fitter than I was, more consistent. So they're not going to have any excuses not to select me this time.
So from the dry, harsh outback of Kalgoorlie to the cool, fresh water of Sydney, the final element of our Sydney 2000 symbol is the colour blue. It is there to signify Sydney Harbour and the oceans that surround our shores. There's also an invisible element to the symbol, and it is something that is Australian as Uluru, that's Ayers Rock, and the Sydney Opera House put together. It's a feeling, a sense of optimism and the joy of life. And it is that feeling, ultimately, is what the Sydney 2000 symbol will convey to the rest of the world. So, that's our new Olympic symbol. And at the very heart is our athletes. And that brings us to the end of our journey. Well, the end of this journey and the beginning of another. On September the 15th in the year 2000, exactly 4 years from tomorrow, one very proud Australian will light the flame at the opening of the 2000 Olympics. And you can bet there'll be lots of kids caught up in the tide of enthusiasm between now and then. As you've seen, they're already running, swimming, riding and rowing as fast as they can to get there. So I'll say goodnight and thank you for joining me on the road to Sydney 2000.
7:30 tonight, Rex Hunt brings you an hour-long premiere special, Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures in Broome. In a moment, 7 Nightly News.
Up to be one big party here at Darling Harbour, wall-to-wall VIPs, hundreds of spectators, and everyone very eager to see, at long last, our logo launched. The heart of Sydney's Olympic logo goes to the heart of Australia, and in the program to launch it, Ernie Dingo traced its origins.
So we've taken the rich red of this land and added it to our new Olympic symbol. It's a colour of our Indigenous heritage.
And there's an element of the old logo for Sydney 2000. Mix the blue of Sydney Harbour and our beaches with the browns of the outback, and the new logo is born. Games organisers are relieved their secret is now out.
The journey has begun.
The logo is the creation of designers Trevor Flett and Richard Henderson, who over the last 17 months came up with 700 versions before they got it right.
You can feel it, you can hear it, you can taste it, and of course you can touch it.
Sydney's design came from a Melbourne company.
Melbourne is known for its design, strong design community. I think in the end of the day, when we're overseas, people ask us where we're from. We really say we're from Australia.
The International Olympic Committee loves it.
The reaction was quite outstanding. This design got applause in the executive board meeting when it was presented.
The old logo that launched Sydney's bid for the Games served its purpose well, winning widespread acclaim and continued affection. But the cold, hard reality of Olympic marketing means another logo is needed to launch a huge new marketing and merchandising push.
We're now in at least 50 plus countries with this mark on the register and ready to go to the world.
And from now on, it'll be everywhere. A specially painted XPT will be rolled out first thing tomorrow morning.
Well, here's the XPT 2000, as it's called. The actual train is an XPT 2000. Here is some image using this athlete.
The launch of the new image of the Games is a real statement about what we feel, what we see, what we want Australia to feel and what we want Australia to see as we progress the Games towards 2000.
And Ross, you could tell very clearly that after keeping quiet and keeping their secret for so long now, they were so relieved to finally be able to tell the world.
All right, Lee, what's happening down there at the moment? Lots of excitement, I reckon.
Yes, Ross, there's no bigger crowd of VIPs in Australia tonight, I'd say. The Prime Minister, John Howard, has arrived here. He's been joined by the New South Wales Premier, Bob Carr. And Australia's Olympic heroes, both past and present, they're all here, together with this large crowd. In a very short time, they'll be actually seeing a repeat of our program, unveiling the logo. And then when they come out about 7:15, 7 o'clock, Kate Sobrano will be out in the middle of Darling Harbour on a barge singing. The fireworks will be going off overhead. And at last we'll get to see that three-dimensional form of our logo that everyone's been speculating about. The thing that's been under wraps, that will be unveiled shortly after 7. And I guess there's nothing much more to say after that than let the marketing begin.
Debut at Darling Harbour. This has been unveiled at Darling Harbour. The Prime Minister and a huge crowd there for the launch. The designers came up with 700 versions before getting it right. The United States
is everywhere, flying high on flags and winding its way up the New South Wales coast on the XPT. While most have praised the logo, some Sydney-siders are still sizing it up.
It's a very modern design, and I think it shows the Australian spirit. I think it's lovely.
It's just some foreign thing. It's not Australian at all. It should be taken down.
I reckon it's good. Well done, Sydney.
This sculpture of the logo will call Darling Harbour home for the next 4 years, after being unveiled during a spectacular ceremony here last night.
Our goal is to enhance the reputation of Australia.
Thousands celebrated the logo's launch, among them Olympic great Dawn Fraser.
It's a people's logo, and I think that's very important.
The logo will now be seen on everything, from T-shirts to coffee cups. Sonia Wilkes, 7 Nightly News.